And welcome everyone to the Los Alamitos Preview Show, the August 20th and 21st edition. I'm Orlando Gutierrez, the marketing director here at Los Alamitos Racecourse, filling in as the host of the show today for Jose Contreras. He is enjoying some well-deserved time off. He'll actually not be on the quarter set this weekend, but we'll be in good hands on the quarters. Ed Burgard will be filling in, providing great commentary, expert analysis on the quarters in place of the vacationing Jose Contreras. And of course, Los Ponies Jose will be back here hosting the show next week. And right now we are happy to be joined by the one and only Michael Wrona. And welcome, Michael, to the Los Alamitos Preview Show. And I see that you got some horse racing behind you. That's fantastic. And where are you at, Michael?
I'm at a casino in the San Diego County called Parla. Have never set foot in this establishment until about an hour ago. You tell me you've been here once before, Orlando?
I've been there once before, and a great place when I was down in San Diego area as well. If I remember correctly, it's not too far away from Bonsall, of course, the home of Vessel Stallion Farm, one of the top racing operations of all time in quarter horse racing. So yeah, good to see that you're enjoying some races out there, Michael.
Yeah, so Kathy and I are going to Del Mar tomorrow, and we just thought we'd get away for a couple of days. And I had a winery earmarked as a nice setting for this segment, but the timing just didn't quite work out. And I found a quiet little neck of the woods here in the Parla Casino with some horse racing behind me. I thought that'll do me.
Absolutely, and I'm sure there's some cold ones there that if you get a little thirsty, they can help you out with. So no problems. You're in a good spot, Michael. I can see that for sure. And of course, we're always in a good spot whenever we're talking about quarter horse racing, thoroughbred racing from Los Alamitos Racecourse, and we have a nice 10 race card this Saturday event. And let's go ahead and scroll right down to it, Michael. There it is, the feature race. Is an event for fillies and mare, the Florentine Overnight Handicap, Michael. And one of the cool things, as you know, is that we have added several races to improve and increase our filly and mare program here at Los Alamitos, and the Florentine is one of those races. One of the cool things is the conditions is for fillies and mares that have not earned $25,000 in 2022. Definitely an opportunity for some mares that have maybe fillies and mares that have maybe finished third, fourth in stakes races to have a chance at a prize.
Yes, and most of these runners have some stakes history and pedigree, including the morning line favourite College Scandal, who was terrific late last season. I just don't know whether College Scandal is going as well as she was, and she's got a nice post position. She's one of several good chances in the race, Orlando, but I was just looking towards an alternative at 5-1 on the morning line. Right down the bottom of the page, need a favor number 8.
All right, number 8. So that's going to be your selection for this race, Michael. And we'll go ahead and what do we take a look at Nita Favor's last start? We have to go back a little while, right?
To New Year's Day, as a matter of fact. Just before you throw that race replay up on the screen, Orlando, just a quick review of her juvenile campaign. She started odds on in her debut against Golden Boy and was beaten very narrowly by that subsequently thoroughly outstanding award-winning 2-year-old, and then had 4 or 5 months off and came back in a race, winning her maiden at 1-5. I thought it was a good effort because the neighbours were acting up in the gate. She kept her composure, did a nice job. She had no luck in a Futurity final, bad trouble, good gallop out. And then came a sequence of 3 allowance races, all at 300 yards. for 2 wins and a very unlucky third. And I made a note on the occasion she ran third that she needs longer. She'd been appearing here and there in my watch list notes, but we haven't seen her since this New Year's Day allowance victory, which we're about to take a look at. She had gate 3.
It's a better line. Racing. Secret Eagle got chopped out. Right out the back in the early going. Nevada Charles, a Painted Legacy. Cumbia, Need a Favour inside her. It's a Painted Legacy out wide. Need a Favour is finishing strongly, and Need a Favour, I think, got through to win from either a Painted Legacy or Nevada Charles, and inside a close handy on the inside.
The horse drawn inside her in gate 2 was Nevada Charles, another Ed Allred horse who we saw fairly recently run a tremendous race in one of the feature events of the last month. And she easily and strongly outfinished Nevada Charles on that opinion to win. That was the race after I'd made a note that she's looking for longer, but she was still able to win that at 300 yards. So now she comes back after a long layoff. She gets 350 yards in the outside post position, which I think is very suitable. There are downsides. There are pros and cons, obviously, with anything in life, pretty much. But there was a gate work showing in May and then another gate work in July. That tells me that they were trying to get her back to the races earlier than has happened, and there might have been some kind of a setback. I took a look at the most recent gate work, Orlando. Maybe you can even put that up for us to check out. You're the expert in interpreting gate works. It did not look pretty in the first few strides.
There it is, Michael, just like you called it. A little stumble at the start, kind of drifted in a little bit. You can see that the jockey is just kind of nice and smooth ride all the way throughout, and Need a Favor responding nicely. Kind of a quiet ride the longer she's going, and finishing nicely there. So just like you mentioned, a nice little tighter, Michael, for this really nice mare coming back for this race. So
I think she hit the line well. I think the second half of the drill was good. And, she's a 3-year-old making her stakes debut against older. There's more seasoned, accomplished horses in this field. But I just think that she still has a lot of upside, and 5-1 from the cozy outside post position. And she has won fresh before. The career debut was fantastic against Golden Boy, and then she was able to break the maiden off that 5-month layoff. So we know she can fire a shot fresh. And I think she's quite appealing when I've just got a couple of question marks against some of the other horses.
Yeah, only 2 3-year-old fillies are in this race. Letty Cartel is the other one in here. The rest of them are 4 and up. We have a couple of 5-year-olds, including Astronomical, who's 4-1 and ran second to Leah Carroll last time out. And actually was moved up from second to first in the Las Damas Handicap last year when going against the stablemate Kiss Through Fire. So a really nice race, the Florentine Handicap. And Michael, you mentioned that this might be the first time that you've called the Florentine Handicap here at Los Alamitos. It's been a while since we last had this great race, but just a little bit of history on this outstanding runner. Was the champion 3-year-old filly, champion H horse, champion H mare, and was owned by Ginger Highland. And this year we actually had the Highland Stakes, if you might recall.
Yes,
Michael.
yes.
And as this mare progressed in her career, she was eventually purchased by Abigail Kawananakoa as a mare, and she produced This Snow is Royal and Evening Snow. Both of them ended up winning the Los Alamitos 2 million Futurity. Evening Snow, as a matter of fact, won the inaugural running of the Los Alamitos Million Futurity at the time. This Snow is Royal came back the following year and also won the Los Alamitos Million Futurity. So a lot of history in surrounding this great mare, Florentine. I'm glad that we have this race back here as part of our schedule.
Yes, quite clearly she deserves a stakes race named in her honor. I love immersing myself in the history, and your encyclopedic knowledge, Orlando, is second to none. So thanks for sharing all of that background. And somehow I'm slightly encouraged by the fact that Florentine was a good performer as a 3-year-old as well as an older mare. So maybe my pick Nita Favor won't be troubled by the fact that she's stepping out against elders in this feature race on Saturday night.
Yeah, definitely would be appropriate as well, Michael. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Looking forward to hearing your call on the Florentine Stakes this weekend, as well as all the other calls that you'll be making this exciting weekend of action.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, mate.
Thanks so much, Michael. We'll go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll come back with Chris Wade. And we're back in the Los Alamitos Preview Show, the weekend of August 20th and 21st, and happy to be joined by Christopher Wade. What is happening, Chris?
Not much, just getting ready for the weekend. It's lots and lots of work. All kinds of simulcasts being piped in this week from out the country, and some quality races at Los Al as well, of course.
Yeah, and you take a look at all the racing action from all over the quarter horse world. And I know that this Saturday we'll be having races from Retama, Albuquerque, maybe even some Delta from Louisiana. Chris, anything that you like in those simulcast races before we get into the Los Alamitos part of the show?
Yeah, there's a couple horses I do like. I got a long shot. I kind of like one of my selections at Delta Downs. You can get those selections on the program and on the website. So take a look at those, and they'll be all ready for you here in a couple hours.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and take a look at the past performance for Saturday. We're gonna take a look at race number 9 with your selection, right?
Yeah, look at the 9, the 2 horse in race number 9. Well-bred, well-connected runner. Odd one horse is out of Corky. Horse was 4th in the first 3 lifetime starts and came back and dropped in class and ran a very good second or third last time with a lot of trouble along the way.
I'd like to get your opinion on the 4, Elegant Jess, because that's one of the horses that I thought had a pretty good chance in this race. I see a 6-1 on the morning line, faced Mahomes Magic, who recently was the morning line favorite in a really nice race coming back, as well as J Best Star. That's when Elegant Jess finished 3rd last time out, July 17th. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, the horse got to look at the outcome. The horse did improve from the first start. They have some trouble along the way, and they finished pretty well, so it has a look on my numbers in the 9th race. But with everything factored in, the 2's got a big look there off that last effort.
All right. So let's, in the meantime, let's take a look at Odd One. How about we look at the last race from this runner? That will be on July the 10th.
Set racing. And a little bit of tightening for Odd One in the green cap as Princessa Rock drifted inwards. Miss Dynamite's going, or Miss DuPonte's going very fast, although now beginning to drift out a little bit. It's Princessa Rock with the lead. Odd One's flying. Princessa Rock just held Odd One, who was very unlucky. 3rd, Sanctimony, quite possibly, over on the inside. Miss DuPonte and Sassenach are both out wider.
Chris, what do we see here?
Yeah, well, she was a favorite in that race on the drop-in class in the $10,000 maidens, and didn't break very well. Bobbled away from the gate, was squeezed back, and lost, I'd say a length and 3/4, 2 lengths, and lost her best chance. Lost about, like I said, about 27, 28 on my numbers. Slow in his stride, put forth a huge run past the gap, and was finishing very strongly. Got within ahead of the victory, and galloped out very, very strong. It was a well-meant runner that night. And the trouble cost us sports a victory in the maiden class.
And Chris, how about we go to race number 7? This is a pretty interesting maiden race. There's a filly here, number 2, Midnight Flash, who we'll take a look at the gate work just right now, owned by Legacy Ranch, trained by Lindolfo Diaz, Jesus Rios Ayala, up 6-5 on the morning line, and coming off of the fastest of 13 works. Chris, what do you think about this race? Is there any other horses that stand out to you, especially after maybe having some problems after racing with some experience? Midnight Flash, of course, will be making her racing debut this Saturday.
Yeah, Midnight Flash, well bred, well connected, quality workouts in the morning part of this horse's debut tonight. And has a big look at the outcome. Horse that on the rail, Redondo her inside, Tainted Love, has some ability, did improve nicely from her first start to her second start despite the trouble with everything factored in. Horse has a little bit of look there in that seventh event up against that very talented and well-connected first-time starter there for Landolfo Diaz and Legacy Ranch.
Excellent. How about we look at the workout from Midnight Flash? I'm going to take a look. It's a solo drill here. And one of the things that I found pretty interesting is that this horse has the fastest work this morning. But look, it was not a perfect drill at all. Broke in, kind of right there next to the rail. But look at the way she is finishing in those final 100 yards. Really nice workout there to post the fastest of 13 drills there this morning. So really like this horse. I'm going to make her my selection for this race. But, the experience is always key when you take a look at these 2-year-olds, right?
Yeah, that was a very talented runner. The horse made some mistakes and was the fastest of the day, despite working solo. Had no competition, did it all on its own, despite not the best of trips. Still very, very impressive on that workout. Well connected, big workouts. Will be your favorite, and will probably be the one to beat in that seventh race, kicking off that late pick 4.
Sounds good. Anything else that stands out of Saturday's program, Chris?
Well, there's a couple other ones along the way that have some looks at the outcome. They're in the 8th race. KR Rockman horse has some trouble along the way, but figures slowly and moving forward. Has a look at the outcome with a nice draw to the outside. Has been a horse to watch on a couple of occasions, but slowly moving forward and has a look at the outcome there in the 8th race.
Very well, very well. I'm going to take a look at race number 1. And in particular, there's a horse there that we know very well, the number 1 horse, Justamitch, a 12-year-old that's just a fan favorite because he's been around in racing competitively just his entire career. He's hit the board 42 times out of 70 starts. Trainer Salvador Naranjo, owner Silvia Soto, had a chance to talk with Mr. Salvador Naranjo this morning, Thursday morning, and got a chance to get some great stories about Justamitch. So how about we listen to that interview, and then we'll come back and take a look at the PPs of this great horse, number 1, Justamitch. Very happy to be joined by longtime trainer Salvador Naranjo, a name here at Los Alamitos for a very, very long time with some really competitive horses in a very strong barn. This weekend, Justamitch, a fan favorite, the 12-year-old, recently a winner at 2.5 furlongs. We'll try that distance once again, and you have a very special connection with Justamitch. You've been around this horse for a long time. Tell us a little bit about that, Mr. Naranjo.
Yeah, we claimed him in around 2014, and he's been in my barn since, except for a few months when I got a little sick, and we had him with Jesus Uranga, a good friend of mine. And when I started feeling better, I came back to train again, and he's back at the barn. Very special horse. Gives it 110 every time he goes on the track.
You first claimed the horse when he was 4 years old.
Yes, sir.
And almost a decade later, here he is, still very competitive. Lots of fun to root for and enjoy racing. But he's also a horse that keeps you very busy, right? As far as the way that you have to handle him. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, he's a very finicky horse, and a very nervous horse when he's here at the track. He likes to be at home in his paddock, where he's comfortable looking at all the rest of the animals, and that's the only way he's happy. So we try to run him once or twice a month, and then take him home for a couple months so he could rebuild and gain his weight back.
Obviously, a training technique specific for the horse, and that's how you do with all of your horses. You have 12 horses here at Los Alamitos.
Yes.
Each of them you takes care of, specially tailored made training regimen for each one of them. And you were telling me that you couldn't do this without your help.
Exactly. I have 2 grooms and an exercise rider that take special care, and they know the special need of every horse in my barn. And that's why my barn is a small barn, but we tailor to each individual to their needs. Mm-hmm.
And you've been around the sport for a very, very long time. You're originally racing in Bay Meadows, Pleasanton area, up north, basically. And you were telling me a little bit that you spent a lot of time working for Pacific Gas and Electric, and it wasn't until you retired from that industry that you really got into the sport. Tell me a little bit about yourself, growing up, being around horses.
I grew up in the San Jose area, and my parents have always had racing quarter horses since the early 70s. And after high school, I went into the United States Marine Corps. I served there for 7 years. When I got out, I started working with PG&E, that's Pacific Gas and Electric Company. I worked for them for 33 years as a supervisor. And only then, when I retired, only then I could spend the time that I've always had a passion for, and that was to be around the race horses. And so I started training in 2012, off and on, depending on my health. When I couldn't do it, I'd have to give up all the horses, call my owners, and as my health got better, I would come back. The passion is what keeps you in this sport.
Absolutely, the passion, and also having good owners, right? You were mentioning
Exactly, very good owners. I give all the success to my owners, Silvio Soto, Mr. Franco, and my grooms. That they're here 24 hours a day with the horses, hands-on, and their work is the reflection of my horses on the track.
And that's what makes each and every win special. That's what makes each and every start special, because the horses are giving them their all on the racetrack for you.
Yes,
for
they
your
do.
Team.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for the time. And before we leave, one special memory that you've had over your career involving horses.
My special memory is the first time that I tried to claim Justamitch. I misspelled his name.
No.
And we almost didn't get him. So when Quinn Howie entered him the following week, boy, did I make sure. I remember I made sure that I had his name spelled right, because that was very early in my training career. And since then, I have never misspelled another horse's name.
Very, very well. Very good, right? Got to make sure that you got your I's dotted
Yes, I's dotted and
T's
T's crossed. Correct.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. We're always excited to enjoy Justamitch, and of course, always excited to follow your racing career.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Well, there he is, Chris, the 12-year-old, looking for win number 23, coming off of a nice victory at the 2.5 furlong distance, winning by a neck.
Yeah, what can you say? He's 12 years old. He gives you everything he got. This is a professional racehorse. Loves his job. Gives you everything he's got every single time. Won at the distance last time. Real not a bad place to be, because it looks like he could have a clear path for wire. And he's got a big look at that in the lid lifter there on Saturday night.
And of course, one of the horses that will be a major factor in this race has to be Terrible Ted, to the one on the morning line. A horse that has been so good at 1,000 yards. Last couple of races has been either first or second, facing always some of the best horses around the turn.
Yeah, the horse always gives you 100%. Terrible Ted, hard knocker. Question mark. He's shorting up, has a good amount of speed, so he probably will run well the distance, but away from the gate, that the horse up against him there who have a race at the distance will probably have a little bit of advantage away from the gate and might have a little bit of a lead, but Terrible Ted always has a big run down the back stretch on the turn races, so definitely has a look at the outcome in that 2.5 furlong lead lifter.
That's going to be Saturday's 10 race program. First post is going to be at 7:05 p.m. And Chris, before we step away for the show, I'd like to share with you a couple of things from around racing at Los Alamitos. First of all, the nominations are out for the Grade 1 Go Man Go Handicap. This will be the feature race next Sunday. And let's take a look at some of the horses in there. Apolitical Pants is actually in Ruidoso right now. So even though the horse was nominated, trainer Monty Arosa told me today that the horse is not going to run in the Go Man Go. But let's take a look at some of the other big names in there. Cattail Cove, horse that we've seen finally win a stakes race not too long ago, a much-deserved stakes win. But, of course, he's been in all the big races, Circle City, Impress 'em. What a race he had in the Vessel's Maturity. Flashback, I did talk to Jaime Gomez, and the horse is being pointed to the Go Man Go. Gentleman Chuck, Mr. Tornado, Bonopolis, and the recent Spencer Childers winner, Up and Atom, also nominated to the Go Man Go Handicap.
Wow, that's a quality group of runners going post for there in that big race.
Absolutely, and of course that's going to happen next Sunday night. This Sunday, Chris, we have the running of the Los Alamitos Claiming Futurity. In fastest qualifier, Doc's Best Woman, owned and bred by Dutch Masters 3. If you remember last year, Brown-Legged Woman, the mare of Doc's Best Woman, actually produced the winner of this race, Women's Secrets.
Wow, looking for doubles and back-to-back years. That's a nice broodmare, dropping some nice runners.
Absolutely. And of course, one of the fun things is just hanging around the claiming area, because these horses are eligible to be claimed out of the final for $12,500, and it's a huge gathering always. After the running of the Los Alamitos Claiming Futurity, we're going to see a lot of people dropping some claims on some of these horses.
Yeah, you always see multiple claims. Some people getting really happy, some people getting upset, getting a little sad because they didn't win the shake. But you got some great runners, and it's gonna be it's a lot of fun. It's a great program.
Absolutely. So that's going to happen on Sunday here at Los Alamitos. So looking forward to a great weekend. The Florentine Stakes on Saturday, and the Los Alamitos Claiming Futurity on Sunday night. First post on Saturday, 7:05 p.m. Anything else, Chris, that we can talk about, or you're ready for the weekend already?
I'm ready for the weekend. We're getting ready. We got lots of simulcast being piped in with races. I think it's race 4 through 8 on Delta Downs, 7 through 12 at Retama, and 7 through 10 at Albuquerque on Saturday night. So it's a great night of racing, some top-notch races, good-looking 2-year-olds there on Saturday night at Los Alamitos, and of course a nice stakes race, and of course a nice simulcast program being piped in as well.
Absolutely. We'll see you this weekend, Chris. It was a pleasure talking to you today, and I'd like to thank the fans for joining us for the show today, and of course looking forward to hopefully you joining us here live for racing at Los Alamitos Racecourse this weekend. Thanks so much, Chris.
Thanks, Mark. You have a good night.
You too.
The traditional $2 Pick Six at Los Alamitos is always a great bet. On June 5th, the Pick Six had a season-high payout of over $76,000. On Sunday, June 12th, the total Pick Six pool was over $95,000. And on Sunday, July 17th, the total pool was more than $78,000. Plus, on Sunday nights when there's not a carryover, Los Alamitos adds $10,000 to the Pick Six pool. Our Sunday pools are consistently over $60,000. The traditional $2 Pick Six, a great bet, a great deal, always